days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, you give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
I woke up to see that Jamaal Bowman, who we spoke about and Urban View has been talking about, and he was on Urban View, he was on the Reed show, he's been on Clay's show. Jamaal Bowman, New York Democrat, representative, incumbent, lost his primary last night, lost it roundly, defeated roundly. We talked yesterday about the amount of money was spent in a primary, in a Democratic primary, to upend Jamaal Bowman. For a number of reasons, but the primary reason is that he is vigilant in his fight for the folk in Gaza and the Gaza Strip and their humanity and their life. And that has, it shouldn't make him a target, but hey, this is where we are right now. I also believe that somebody pointed out, I think it was Chuck Modiano, who's been very, very diligent in his reporting of all of these things. He said the borders of Jamaal Bowman's district have been changed so that it encompasses less of the Bronx and more suburbs of Westchester. His district in 2020 was 30% black, 34% white, but now it's 21% black and 42% white. And they are redrawing Cori Bush's district as well, because here's my thesis. As long as you're hung up on Democrats and Republicans, you will never understand what's really going on here. This is not a political, it's politics, but it's not political politics, something else, right? So if you notice, I don't get caught up in Democrats and Republicans ever. Matter of fact, the most sad time I've ever had on the airwaves was in 2015. When I made the suggestion that people listening register as Republicans. I made a suggestion in my mind. I was like, this could be a chance for us to make a power play, because Democrats and Republicans, that has nothing to do with what we need to get done strategy wise. And if you live in a state, particularly a state in the South, the primary can become a power play. And strategically, we could control who goes to the general election in the Republican Party if we registered as Republicans in these closed primary states, or cross party lines and voted in a primary, in the Republican primary, because you already kind of know that the Democrat may not be there to harm you. So let's have an impact and determine who's going to be the Republican nominee. And I was specifically thinking about the presidential election in 2015 because I knew that Trump could win based on what I know about people. And also, I was a New York journalist, so I know Trump's magic. I also know the magic of celebrity. And I knew how horrible he was as a person, and I didn't want him to be our president. So I said, let's register as Republicans, show up in the Republican primary, and vote for John Kasich, because at least I know he's somebody that we can talk to. He's not a horrible human being. He doesn't want to see you not here. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't not care about you, and I'm talking about you as humans. He's not super selfish. At least I think John Kasich at the time was somebody that could reach across the aisle and actually, govern all Americans. So that was my plan. And I got cussed out by people who were on my show. The co-host that was on my show screamed and yelled at me in the hallway. I was like, ma'am, what strategy? I'm not telling you to disown your parents. I wasn't telling you to change your name. I said, change your party affiliation. It's a very simple process. And it also allows you to see whether you're registered too. We should all kind of do that exercise. But I was so hurt. I promise you, I was so hurt and discouraged at the same time, because I realized in that moment we weren't ready for the kinds of things we need to do to actually not just have power, but agency over our own lives. It requires something. This freedom isn't free notion requires something more than complaint. It requires strategy. It requires lobbying. It requires fundraising for the things that you want. They spent $25 million to get Jamaal Bowman out, and they ran commercials. I'm in Jersey. I don't even live in New York. Commercials around the clock on this man. And I said, wow, yesterday. Wow. That was election day. Wow. And while there was a nice turnout, well, for a primary, because most people do not vote in primaries. Most people. 28% of the districts, roughly 250,000 Democratic voters took place in, they took part in this race yesterday. They showed up 28%, but it was down from the 35% that Jamaal Bowman got when he won, when he beat Engel for the nomination in 2020. 35% showed up then, 28% showed up, and it was redistricted. So fewer, the people that might have showed up for Jamaal Bowman showed up, but 28%, that's nothing to write home about. That is abysmal. And it also speaks to, the apathy that we have. And I get the apathy. I get the exhaustion. And I get because you are in this churn of misinformation, disinformation, just bombarded with information that none of it makes any sense. But let's make it simple. Make it simple. There are people in this world who want things. And they have figured out how to get the things that they want. And you get the things that you want in many different ways, right? So if you're in business, you want to make sure you have the business folk locked up, which means the politicians need to be on your side, right? Because there are land grants and all kinds of government set-asides and handouts and secret things that the government only, certain officials, governors and mayors and things have. So you need to have the right people in those positions if you are running a business, right? You need to have those people who are going to, first of all, tell you, but also give you the things. Now, if it's like I want special roads or dispensations, I want there to be special patrols and details around the things, and you need to have the people in office that are going to fight for that. If there's a political angle that you want, then you have to pay lobbyists, which means you have to have a lobbyist and a PAC, super PAC. What are the black super PACs? I've had this conversation. We're going to have it again next week. Pam Keith is coming in. I've been asking this question. First of all, this is not my area of expertise. It never has been. I jumped in it just as a person with logic, sitting there thinking like, how did we get here? And how are we always here every 4 years complaining about the same damn things? It's insanity. And I don't like to be insane because I'm not. But I don't like to be swept into insanity because the vast majority of us don't have the political maturity to even understand what's going on. And you get mad when somebody gives you an idea that could work. Because had everybody done what I said, and at least in those states that were in jeopardy, now I'm in Jersey. Jersey's pretty much going to do what Jersey does, except for the gubernatorial race. Jersey will wax and wane, Republican, Democrat, because even in Jersey, it's not politics. It's not Democrats and Republican politics. It's something else. It's another kind of politics in New Jersey and in New York as well. But I knew federally, the presidential race was secure. I didn't need to ring in Jersey, but I did so anyway, register as Republican, just to see what the process was like, because I'm like, I can't tell people to do things I'm not willing to do myself. Let me see what that is. And you know what? It was a fascinating thing. The next election cycle, I'm coming in. First of all, very few people who look like me who are Republicans in my particular county where I vote. And the table was looking at me like, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, this is unusual. So we're predictable too. How easy is it to control people who are predictable? At the very least, we should be unpredictable. So I also signed up for the NRA. I want to see what kind of literature. Man, it's surprising. I'm still getting email. They are on their game every week, on their game with their messaging, sending out their things, their marching orders, their blueprints every day. They are on message. What I get from the Democrats, vote blue, no matter who. Rah, rah, rah. Republicans very specific. Immigration, borders, guns. We want our guns. They're taking our guns, border, immigrants, inflation. They got like 3 issues. And they run them down your throat, and they make it real simple, single syllable words. There's nothing complicated. Immigrants, build a wall. That's the solution, all right? If there's guns, they want your guns. Okay, we got to fight to keep our guns, get more guns. Everybody has to have a gun. Well, the subtext to that is even more nefarious, and it should be scary to everybody, but we don't have anything equal and opposite at all, and that's what disturbs me. And when I say we, I'm talking about good, sensible, hardworking, nice, good people who just want life to just be, and they just want, well, it just is not going to be unless you do something to make it be. And all of this, I'm not going to vote because, what are they going to do? Well, you're right, and you're wrong at the same time, because the reality is what the Democrats have shown in New York is that Democrats aren't Democrats. All Democrats are not made the same. They drew the line in the sand. They showed you. Matter of fact, I was listening to Clay Kane yesterday. Reese Colbert was on, and she said something that I want to play. I want to bring it back, run it back, just in case y'all missed it, about this particular race. This was yesterday before the election of the new guy who's probably going to win because it's a Democratic district, George Latimer. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. But let's play Reese's comments from yesterday.
I think this race is really about apathy, and George Latimer Latimer, however you say his name, is counting on apathy from Black and Latino voters. He is actually making explicitly anti-Black and Latino rhetoric part of his pitch. He's basically saying, he's explicitly stated that Congressman Bowman only cares about Black and Latino residents. He doesn't talk about residents that aren't Black and Latino. So he's banking that he can gin up the white vote and that the Black folks and the Latino folks aren't going to be like, wait a minute now, hold up. I'm not going to let you represent me and you're anti-Black. I'm not going to represent me. I'm not going to let you represent me and you don't want to speak truth about racial inequities in this country, about racism in this country, systemic racism. I don't want you to represent me when you're anti-Black. Like, to me, I feel like George Latimer is pulling the punk cards of the Black and Latino residents. He pulling a who gonna check me book card on them, because there's absolutely inexcusable that a person should be able to run in a Democratic primary against a Black man and be racist and that be okay. Typically, what we see when people are running against Black people in primaries is they try to cosplay as a social justice warrior and as, I believe in all this stuff too. I'm progressive too. This is one of the few times that I've seen in recent memory where the candidate is basically like, I'm the Klan candidate. Like, yeah, y'all white people, aren't you tired of that Black motherfucker over there only caring about the Black and Latinos? Don't you want a white man to represent your interests? It's so brazen that it's disgusting. I mean, at least David Trone, Jigaboo slur saying David Trone, he had the Blacks that he was trotting out and saying, oh, he's for us. And he had every Black person in all his ads and shit. You would think he was, a little Black social justice. He tried to reinvent himself like that. He was still problematic and anti-Black in his own way. But I'm saying he at least put on. This man is saying, like, I can talk to the white voters and tell them, you want me because this Black man only cares about his people. He called it an ethnic benefit. An ethnic benefit? That's what he referred to Jamaal Bowman as if being white has been the benefit of all time. So that kind of, like, set aside Israel and Gaza. I think it's a big deal, obviously. But set aside that, the racist politics should be disqualifying, should be enough for the Black and Latino residents to say, Hell no, we ain't going for it. We'll see if it's enough, or if he's pulling the MAGA card in the Democratic Party and saying, okay, well, the way that we beat these black motherfuckers in the primaries is we say, screw the black and Latinos, we just need to get the white vote. That's been the calculation that Democrats have made for decades now, that black people complain about. Oh, y'all just care about the white voters and y'all don't want to talk race, y'all don't want to talk racial, y'all don't want to talk about the black agenda. Those are the complaints that black people have had for so long. And I thought we had made some progress on that front. And this is a complete regression on that. This is a complete turnaround.
Complete turnaround. And you can listen to this on demand, the whole show, Clay Kane, which you can also listen to Monday through Friday, noon to 3 p.m. Eastern on channel 126. I've been saying this for a while, that the political landscape, because I can't really tell you what a Democratic agenda is, only to say that I believe that Democrats govern to care about more people. They're going to, do things that will, be for the environment, for education, for, they're for things, whereas Republicans are against things. This crop of Republicans, the things they're against are people. So it's an easy choice for me, right? The people who are against people versus the people who actually may work for people. I'm going to vote for the people who are going to work for people, and hopefully then build a strategy around getting the kinds of people in that will get stuff done, right? That we need to get done. But now the question is, and I'm putting the question out to everybody, what are the 3 things that we want to get done? Republicans is easy. They want to build a wall, immigrants, while backdoor, everybody has people who are not here legally working for them in their companies because, they're going to always build a loophole because slavery is what built this country. But they're going to talk about immigrants because they know that that's an issue that everybody lives next to you. Everybody who lives in a city, you see immigrants. And if you work in social services, you know that they're getting special set-asides, and you're going home and you're telling your people they're getting special set-asides, which makes people mad because I'm not getting a special set-aside. So now your focus is on the immigrant, not on the actual policies that are not being done by your politicians. So now you're mad at the immigrants, and these people are talking about the immigrants, and they're building a wall, and I live in Arizona or Texas or whatever. I'm tired of seeing these motherfuckers come across the damn border and bringing 11 children, and I'm sick of it. Yes, I'm voting for that. Simple. Okay, guns, yes, because there's going to be a race war. So let's be prepared. Let's be prepared. It's violence. So you're going to hear a lot of talk about crime. We're going to tackle tough on crime, which means signal, go get a gun because there's a lot of crime. And Chicago and Detroit, black people are the ones committing the crime. We're doing all of this virtual signaling for you to understand this is where the crime is. Got to be armed because those black people, Birth of a Nation taught us, they scary. They're going to rape you. Okay, they're very dangerous. Let's go get our guns. Get your guns. And don't let them take your guns because they're trying to take your guns. Then they're going to throw Jesus in there. It's a simple playbook. Jesus, because everybody loves Jesus. Nobody follows him, but they all love him. They don't read not near thing that Jesus said. They're not following anything Jesus did. But oh my God, I love me some Jesus. I wear a cross. I got Jesus on a bumper sticker. I got the damn Icarus on my car. I am a Jesus lover. God. 10 Commandments. Let's put them in the classroom. Let's put the 10 Commandments in the classroom because we love God. One nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all, except for those other people. Just for us white folk. That's it. It's built in. The messaging is easy. Easy. And then we'll throw in a little inflation because isn't gas too high, eggs too high, milk too high? Gas, egg, milk. That's it. Gas, eggs, milk. You got that on a loop. Gas, eggs, milk. Go look at the gas. Go look at the milk. Go look at it. Doesn't matter if the gas is lower than it's been. I know. I fill up my tank. It could be lower. It should be $1. It should be $1. I don't care what it is. It should be $1. Messaging, easy. What's the Democrats' message? 866-801-8255. Now let's put that over there because I can't parrot it. I don't know what it is. But the bigger work is what should it be? Because every single thing that I mentioned about the Republicans, they have whole lobbying groups pushing individually those messages. They got the NRA with the guns. They got that. Don't worry. We got you. We got you. We got you. And we're going to send out all the messages that you need. Trust and believe. I was on their mailing list. I said, this is ridiculous. They are relentless. But you know what's effective? It's effective because I know where they stand. I know where they stand. I know where they stand. Where do we stand? What is the messaging? What should be the message? What do we want, really? And if you say reparations, I'm hanging up on you. Not because reparations aren't due, but to call up and talk about Black people, if I don't get we don't get reparations, we're not voting, tells me that you're politically immature.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I need.